Hello, welcome back to another series of Flix powered by Film Caravan. How's everyone doing? So, today we have a very special guest whose series and film has just released on Z5. Hello.
Hi,
Hi.
I couldn't reach back on in time, so I'm in my car. I hope
Oh,
the light is good enough.
yeah, it's, I mean, like, we need to see you. Yeah, this is better.
Okay.
Thank you so much for doing this, Bejoy. I know you're a busy man after the incredible, success and reviews of TAISH.
I'm not busy at all. It's done over, so now I'm free. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
I thoroughly enjoyed watching TAISH, and I just binge watched it. And before we kind of speak about it, and I know you've been giving a lot of live sessions talking about it. I like we want to know, our friends want to know that like you seem to be this really intense and this very serious kind of a persona. Whenever I have met you, I felt that you're this serious kind of a guy. But who is the real Bijoy? Like who is Bejoy?
I think my work speaks for itself. I think that's the same for every filmmaker. A part of them starts creeping into the work that they make.
Right.
So I think a sum of all the films I've made is kind of comprises who I am. So there's a lot of Shaitan in me. There's a lot of David in me. There's a lot of Wazir in me, and there's a lot of Solo and Tesh in me. So I
Yes.
guess there are bits of all that in me. And
Yeah, you're
that's who I am.
this quiet shaitan. If I don't know if that really is
I'm not
something.
much of a quiet guy, actually. To be very honest, when I may come across quiet and everything, but
You're not.
people who know me well, they know how I am.
Okay. Okay, great. Also, how and what made you get into films? Filmmaking, cinema, storytelling. What was like, initial your initial thought process regarding this?
I come from a family of film buffs. So my parents and my sister, they were all massive film buffs. So
Okay.
because of them, them being such avid movie watchers, I used to watch a lot of movies when I was a kid. So I mean that whole thing of watching so many films and films of different languages and everything, right from an early age, kind of set me off on that path of wanting to be part of films in some way or the other. So and I think as even as kids, me and my sister, we were always very like heavily into the arts. And my sister is a professional singer and dancer,
Wow.
and so I used to watch her perform on stage and everything, and I used to really want to go and do something on stage. So I ended up started doing like some dance performances, mimicry, and all that on stage because of my sister. Because my sister used to do all this, I used to want to be like her. So I
Wow.
think that interest in the arts was there at a very early age. And though my education is all business related, but I kept pursuing that. I kept pursuing theater on the side. I kept pursuing writing on the side. And from theater, the natural extension was to do a short film
Wow.
because I wanted to get into film. So I made a short film, and then that short film kind of set me on this trajectory of wanting to be part of films.
Which is a short film? Could you share the name with us?
It was called Reflections. That's the first short film I made.
Okay.
It's called Reflections. It's there on YouTube
Okay.
somewhere. So if you find it, it's
We
an
got.
9 minute. It's a 9 minute silent short film. So
Okay.
that was the first short film I made,
Okay.
and that got me a job with Madras Talkies, Mani Ratnam. So
Oh.
that is the that's where got into feature films in a big way. So I got to AD on that film right from the pre-production till the DVD came out. So I was part of the entire gamut, and
Okay.
then I knew that I this is
This is it.
where
This
I
is
need to be.
telling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one can say that your greatest influence is your sister. Has been.
Yes, my sister and my parents. I think that they, like I said, even my sister wouldn't have been so much into the arts if my parents were not so encouraging. And they
Right.
were, like I said, they were heavy movie buffs. They used to watch a lot of movies, a bit too much than more than normal. They used to watch a lot of movies. So that made us become like big movie buffs too. So because of
Wow.
them, I think. So I attribute all that interest in cinema and music only to my folks and my sister.
How nice. So I think somebody's just saying, can you speak a little louder? So okay, I know.
Okay.
Huh?
Is that person talking about you or me?
Okay, I'm
Both
happy.
of us. Okay.
So, normally we see parents saying that पढ़ाई कर लो, ये सब छोड़ो पिक्चरें और गाने बजाने छोड़ो. But I think for you it was, the
It
other
was
way.
थोड़ा उल्टा था. हाँ.
उल्टा था.
पढ़ाई
Good
करो
for
लेकिन
us.
पिक्चर भी देखो.
अच्छा. Good for us. So, coming back to Taish, the first time that I saw one of your films was Shaitan, and it was like an instant connect with that film. I don't know why. I just kind of I just couldn't stop talking about it. This was like a few years ago, and your style of filmmaking. So I've seen Wazir also. I saw Solo till the interval, and then I had to head home. And then I've seen Caravan also. I've not seen David. Then I saw Flip, of course. But Tesh, the filming style, your style really reminded me of Shaitan. Uh, Especially, the high point of, for me, Tesh, when Pali and Sunny have a face-off in the prison, and how you put the technical spotlight on them, so the entire gaze of the audience was just on both of them. Some filmmakers, of course everybody has their own style of making films, but for you it's like, that scene in Shaitan. I don't know, I mean, of course you'll know, when everybody's just escaping, they're fleeing in burqas, and Rajiv Khandelwal, it's another scene, and it seemed as though he's chasing them, but it's not, and it's like two parallel scenes that is kind of happening at the same time. And this face off also, I don't know, it just reminded me, and I'm like, just looking at both of them, it was such an intense scene, and it was just complete, I was completely floored by that. And Pali's
Thank you
accent,
so much.
how did he nail it? How a South Indian guy could nail a Punjabi accent? Bejoy, tell me about that.
No, we had a phenomenal Punjabi dialogue writer, Gunjit, and we had Punjabi ADs who were there to make sure that we get the language and the
Wow.
the lehza right. So thankfully, because of Gunjit, because of Sabir, my AD, Sabir Singh, they were there to constantly check on making sure that the way they're saying it, the pauses and all that was right. So, and of course we fixed some things in the dub also, but
Yeah.
I was very clear about that. That if we have to stay true to the world of who Pali is and that family. So they cannot suddenly break into Hindi and suddenly speak normal Hindi just because the film demands that. We said it's okay, we'll take that chance. Let's go all out Punjabi unit. But at the same time, we took a lot of care in the dialogues to make sure that the Punjabi is not some places we couldn't avoid, but some places we made sure that it had words which were easily understandable for Hindi
Yeah.
audience as well.
It
So we,
wasn't.
we took some,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we took a lot of care of that. But I'm glad you connected to that scene. I love that scene too of the face-off between Sunny and Pali, and I enjoyed conceiving that. I mean, because it was a normal face-off scene that was written, but then the idea of the power outage and having that red light beeping through the whole thing, that was
Right.
decided somewhere midway in the prep part of it is when we decided that. Then we all got very excited with that idea of how to use that to push the drama.
Yeah.
Though I don't know how you're comparing that to Shaitan, but I'm glad that you found some resonance here and there. That it has never been intentional from my side, but I'm just happy that you connected to that scene. I'm happy you liked it.
Because there's certain scenes. Okay, the film is great. Everything is, when you watch a film, okay, it's fantastic acting, but certain scenes just remain with you. And that scene of Shaitan, because obviously, I mean, also the background score,
Yeah,
the song that played, that remix that was playing in Shaitan, and the background score of Tesh,
yeah.
top notch.
Thank you so
Really
much.
uplifted each and every emotion and each and every scene. What do you have to say about Pulkit? You are such a brat. Because of
Pulkit,
you, everything happened.
Pulkit, Pulkit is, yeah. What do you have to say about Pulkit? Pulkit is a brat, exactly. In fact, I think there is this one dialogue in the film which just sums him up so correctly. That Fatake ki factory mein machis ki tili, and I keep saying Pulkit is exactly that. He's that person also, and he's that in the film also he's like that, and in real life also he's that fire starter. He's
Absolutely.
and like he's asking that I'm a big fan. I am a big fan. Pulkit.
Big fan.
What
You're
he's
a
saying.
dangerous fan, yeah, actually. But I felt really sad, why. Okay, Pulkit had to go, but why did Pali? He should have not gone. But I guess, that was the impact,
The
that was the.
idea was that
Yeah,
that revenge never. They
yeah,
say that whenever you go out to set out to take. One of my writer friends that told me, that stayed with me, Abhay Tiwari or Saurabh Ratnu. I think they are the ones who told me this thing of when you go to set out to take revenge, you always dig two graves, one for the person that you're taking revenge on, and one for yourself. So it's never, the revenge is never wholesome. You'll always. I mean, there are collaterals on either side, and that's what we wanted to show, that it never gets you to never gets you to a conclusion which is satisfying. So this, which is why Pali had to die, Pulkit had to die. So
yeah.
it was
They had
always
to.
written. Yeah,
But all the characters, Sukhi, Krish, and
yeah,
Rohan. Even Rohan, he was spot on with his, everything, the mannerisms, how he's, how how Indians live over there. They're
right.
exactly that, and I think pretty much everybody nailed it. Even Arfa and Jahan, and I mean, it was just an amazing, amazing series. I really, it's
I'm happy that a lot of people are singling out the supporting cast also and talking about supporting cast. That rarely happens. They'll talk about one character, but a lot of the reviews they've singled out a lot of the supporting cast and characters, and that is very heartening to know. That's very good to know.
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, yeah, your journey from so your first film was Reflections. So from
Yeah.
Reflections, Tesh, how has the journey been? Like, I mean, obviously it's been a great journey, but how much of it has taken out from you?
Every film takes a lot out of you. Yeah, it takes a lot out of you, and you feel. And I think somewhere midway, I kind of realized this midway when I say that somewhere I think between David and Wazir, that you have to approach every film as if it's your last. That I keep saying that as if you'll never get an opportunity after this to make another film. So that's
Wow.
how you have to think of every film. Every film should be. You should feel like you cannot better this. It has to be the best version of what you can do, because you might just not get another opportunity to make it. So I look at every project I do, even if it's a short film, I look at it like that, thinking that I might not get another opportunity, so I have to just give it my all. And the moment you don't treat that project like that, it starts to show. I feel it starts to show in every little aspect of it. And I have done some work like that which I'm myself not happy with, which I know that I did not give it enough that was needed for it. So that was a big lesson for me to learn. So that's how I look at it with every project of mine. So it's been an interesting journey, and I'm really looking forward to making many more
Yeah,
movies. But till here, it's definitely been quite a wild ride.
yeah. You're the boss. I mean, actually, boss. Neha, like he's not just the boss; he's the boss.
The boss, yeah. Neha will say all that.
You have to have it like you have it right here and you have it right here, so it's just kind of has to come out from here. So you are so clear with exactly what it is that you want or you expect out of the entire team. And I think, of course, it's your creation, it's your baby, but the entire team has really, it's been
No,
such
no,
a.
no. I don't. In fact, filmmaking is never one person. They say captain of the ship. They say all that, but it is never one person's thing. Filmmaking is so much of a collaborative art. There is we see one scene, like right now we are talking about that one scene between Pali and Sunny in the jail, but that scene wouldn't have been possible if the cameraman did not light it a certain way, if the art department did not make the set a certain way, if the actors did not step up and act that scene in a certain way. So it is such a collaborative, all of those pieces needs to come together for something to become effective. So and a film is that of coming together of so many people, so many variables, to just give you that one experience, which is why I feel so upset sometimes when a lot of, obviously we can't expect audiences to understand that, but some audiences, they just watch something and just within a second they'll just diss it. They'll not even give it a chance, even if it's bad. I don't think, you can definitely critique something, but they'll just immediately diss it and say that it's pointless, useless to watch. The effort is not that one person's effort. The effort is so many people putting that effort to make that happen. So
Absolutely.
somewhere, I can never take the credit of, हाँ ये मेरा idea था, मेरा vision था. मेरा idea, मेरा vision will never come to fruition if all these people did not support it. So
Absolutely. And
it's really a collaborative thing.
yeah, absolutely. And I feel a lot of times it's a lot of improvisation also. On the spur of the moment, you kind of, were there any spur of the moment, events that happened during filming of Taish, making of Taish?
Lot of times, lot of things happen which you don't really anticipate and you don't really plan for, but it just sometimes works for the better of the thing. Sometimes it works against you. uh, I can think of a lot of things like I think Pulkit's entry scene.
Yeah.
We were
I
shooting that entry scene in that bike, and if you look at it, if you rewatch it, you'll see that the moment he comes and stops the bike and he takes out the kerchief, the clouds opened up and the sun suddenly opened up. Sun suddenly, had this very bright ray of sunlight, and
right.
it's the character is called Sunny, right? So it almost felt like he came, he stopped, and the sun just opened up for him, and it is captured on camera. So that
Wow.
is, again, you can't plan for stuff like that. That just happened, and
Happened and the
and
whole
it just
started.
worked out.
That,
Worked out for the thing. So things
absolutely.
like that are very, very. I love it when you don't plan and anticipate for things
Yeah.
and they happen and it just works out beautifully. So
Absolutely. It has so very beautifully.
there's a
Also,
mirror scene in Tesh which was not planned. We
you
did
know,
that scene.
when he's introducing Arfa to
Yeah,
the
yeah, Arfa, yeah. The parents standing on the staircase and Jim and Arfa,
that
and
was
we planned that shot, but we never planned that it will happen in one shot. We
one.
always planned that we'll shoot that and we'll keep cutting for different angles. But the moment we set that camera and we took that entire scene like that, we said that this just looks perfect like this. Let's not touch it. Let's let it be one take. So those
I
are
thought
happy accidents.
I actually thought it was planned, but it worked. I mean, the whole, the whole scene was so well filmed that it just kind of fit in. It just fit in. Everybody's all four of their emotions.
Thank you so
Also,
much.
Bejoy, what is the best piece of advice that you have received for filmmaking till now? Anything that comes to the top of your head?
Um, Best piece of filmmaking advice. One, I don't know if it's a great advice or not, but someone once told me that you should never work with your idols. Never work with uh, the people that you really admire a lot. Never work with them. Only because you have set them up in a pedestal in your head. And when you meet them, when you work with them, you realize that they're also just like you, and sometimes maybe not as good as what you thought they were. And that, though it was said to me in a very different context, but I kind of experienced that at one point with some people that I really looked up to, and when I worked with them, I realized that they were not what I thought they will be. So that is sometimes that thing keeps bugging me sometimes, because some people, people that you admired and you consider them idol, you want them to stay there only. You don't want to mess with that
Yeah.
image in your head. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's one thing.
But maybe you could bring out the best, even more better than them. You think of it like
Maybe.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, I wanted to ask you, since you're obviously in the thick of it, how has really cinema changed, from pre-COVID times? Because there's this past year has seen a lot of content coming in and a lot of different stories and different kind of genres. Also, I would I don't know if you've heard of the Screen Life. I'd spoken about it a few weeks back. How do you think uh, COVID has impacted cinema? In whichever way, good or bad, whichever way you feel.
Well, it's impacting in a very big way. Look at it. The theaters are still not open, and we are a movie watching audience. Like especially in India, we are used to going to the theaters to watch movies a lot, But the last so many months, that has just stopped completely. So that has definitely impacted the whole industry in a very big way. Yes, there are more avenues now, like even the digital avenue that I have exploited now with Tash. So we have avenues available. There are more things happening online, but that still doesn't take away from the fact that there is a whole big community wanting to make films, wanting to watch films, that is being deprived of it right now because of the COVID situation. And even work has not, though it started, we have restarted work. I gone and shot right now, and shooting has started, but shooting is also coming with a lot of baggage, a lot of this protocols to be followed.
Yeah.
Like for example, we can't shoot a crowd scene now, so we have
Yeah.
to think of ways to shoot how to shoot a crowd scene, and so you can't limit yourself in your writing thinking that okay, now we can't do that. So all those things are definitely affecting us, but I think we are all trying to find our way to work around it. So I just hope going ahead we'll be able to find some kind of normalcy and semblance.
Actually, nothing like going to the theater, having popcorn, you know, just sitting.
Yeah. I'm waiting. In fact, I wish Taish was in the big screen. We could have watched Taish on the big screen, but yeah, that's.
I was telling Neha, had this lockdown not, you know, COVID was not there, we would have all been together and we would have seen Taish. Because remember, we saw Flip, all of us, we saw Flip together.
Yeah, together. Vishal is just messaging, waiting to work with you again. Yeah. I'm also waiting, buddy.
So, you know, it's
Saurabh is there. Yeah. Hi, Saurabh.
Sukhi. Hello, Sukhi.
Sukhi.
So, what have you been watching off late? I know you've not been getting any time with the promotions of TAISH.
Last 1 month, I've not watched anything because I've been just hell-bent, like just working on TAISH, deliveries of TAISH. But before that, I was watching a lot of things. I was watching a lot of shows, a lot of films. I think the last thing that I watched I really liked was there's a show called I Know This Much Is True.
Okay.
That is something I watched. I watched another one called Tales from the Loop on Amazon. These are things I watched. I really liked.
Have you seen How to Get Away with Murder? I'm currently watching that.
I've not seen it. No, I heard a lot about it. I've not seen it.
It's very Shaitan.
Then I should not watch it.
You'll create something better only.
नहीं यार अब तो अलग करना है. Now I have to move out of that.
Like Caravan was so good. I really enjoyed Caravan also.
That was actually, to be very honest, that was my attempt to try and do something completely different. Carvaan. Yeah. I wrote Carvaan thinking that this is what I want to direct now. So it was completely off from whatever I've done. But eventually then Wazir happened, so I couldn't do Carvaan. And then Akash, who had worked on it, was gracious enough to take it on and move with it. Because we knew that this is a special story. We don't want to just let it go. Yeah. And I'm glad he took it forward. And he did such a fabulous job with it. He made such a good film.
It was really enjoyable, yeah. So let's see the comments, what everybody said, and just kind of, you know. So yeah, Vishal is saying waiting to see work with you again. Love you, Bejoy. Sukhi is saying love you, Bejoy.
Hey.
Stylish Bejoy Nambiar. So you're getting a lot of compliments, huh? When you see the recording, तो कुछ आता नहीं है उसमें फिर.
Fituria, Fituria is Karthik Iyer, one of the writers of TAISH, who's an old collaborator with me. He's been working with me for a long time. One guy called Nayar E16 says Solo was big disappointment. Hope TAISH will not disappoint. I hope so too. TAISH will not disappoint. And I'm sad that you didn't like Solo, but it's okay.
Yeah. Solo, I think it was a great anthology, but yeah, I mean, somebody just commented that it was actually great. And you know, Neha kept asking me, really? I said, I'm loving it. I will just go back home because my daughter's woken up. You know, she was really small at that time. And so yeah, anybody has any question to ask Bejoy, please ask now because this is the time. Thank you so much for making TAISH. How does it feel? How does Sheetal feel about it? I mean, she's also been it's been a very, very, you know, integral part of the film. And
Sheetal is a very different kind of filmmaker.
Yeah.
She just made her own film last year with siblings. So I think that is more her. She comes from a very different sensibility of filmmaking, and so in our house, she's the art house filmmaker. I'm the commercial filmmaker. So it's very, very, very difficult to please her. So I still
like that.
I still don't know whether TAISH worked for her or not. So, but she did help out in TAISH. She was the second unit director. She helped out a lot in TAISH. But whether the film works for her or not, अभी तक मुझे feedback मिला नहीं. मैं wait कर रहा हूँ. मिल जाएगा. Mark मिले नहीं अभी तक उसमें.
Marks नहीं मिले. नहीं. अभी मिल जाएंगे. She's probably waiting for other teachers to grade you. Great. No, it's been a phenomenal series, and really congratulations to you, Bejoy. And thank you so much for doing this. And you know, I know you're in transit, and you know you.
Sorry, I'm doing this in the car. I thought I'll reach home by then, but it's a little late.
Please, thank you for taking time out and doing this. And hope to see you soon. And really enjoy the success of TAISH. top notch. Absolutely fabulous.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, and thank you so much for having me in this. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care of yourself. Say hi to
Take care.
Shaitan. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.